Good evening, everyone, and welcome here for another road game for the Queen City Corndogs. I apologize for the camera, trying to work on that as we speak. Tough situation here with the netting. There, that looks satisfactory-ish. Beggars can't be choosers here, as the first batter of the game for Queen City is number 12, Wilson Lohr. And a quick 2-0 count against Lohr, who leads the Corndogs in batting average. In SCBL play specifically, Lohr has been going inferno. Has 7 stolen bases and is batting .524 in conference, as that one is fouled back for strike number 1. These two teams, as we settle in here, have played each other once this season, which the Corndogs took it by a score of 14-3. It was one of those early season mercy rules that the Corndogs got out to their winning streak in, and now trying to replicate that, coming off a win yesterday against the Uwharrie Wampus Cats. A big comeback in the 9th inning to propel them, where they now sit at 10-4 as Lohr skies that one to center, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. So Lohr, the best contact batter for the Corndogs statistically, pops up on his first at-bat. And that'll send up number 10, Cannon Pierce. Cannon Pierce had a pretty productive day yesterday, but it came late. Started off 0-4, as that one's going to be low for ball number 1. Pierce started off 0-4, then hit a big RBI single in the top of the 9th inning as a part of that late run from Queen City. And the lefty cranks that one into the outfield, but once again, going to get too much underneath it, and back-to-back pop-ups to start the inning against tonight's pitcher for the Concord Athletics. Number 15, Noah Couch, normally plays in the outfield, but stepping up on the bump tonight, and he's gone a quick 2-up, 2-down here. But a whole new challenge as Tyler Cotto steps to the mound. Cotto, one of the heroes from last night. There were plenty of them in that 9th inning. Cotto put in the work himself. Had a late double, as that one is popped up once again, and it's going to be caught foul. So 3 pop-ups in 3 at-bats, and that'll send us to the bottom of the first with the Corndogs. And Athletics tied at 0. Bottom of the first inning here between the Corndogs and the Athletics. A quick 3-up, 3-down inning for Concord as the first pitch of the night from tonight's starter is going to be a ball. And tonight's starter is none other than number 22, Drew Lanzo. Lanzo in the transfer portal right now after his freshman year at UNCW. Getting out to a quick 2-0 count now against the leadoff batter for the Athletics, and that's going to be Ben Homaker. Homaker is batting .500 on the season in a CBL play as he takes that pitch in there for strike number 1. So a 2-1 count now for Homaker. And he launches that one into the outfield, and it will not be caught in time. Goes right center, and it's going to be a leadoff double for the Athletics. Nice start here for Concord as they get their first base runner of the evening on their first at-bat.
Number 1, Ian Moore.
That'll send up number 1, Ian Moore. As Homaker takes off the protection wristband. So Lanzo allows a hit in his first at-bat thrown of the night, and Drew Lanzo didn't have his best outing against Statesville Owls when he got his last start of that doubleheader. He started game 2 and allowed 4 runs on 7 hits with 1 strikeout. Did that in 3 innings of work, so trying to put in a more solid performance than that as Moore at the plate chops that one off towards the Corndog dugout and brings this to an even 1-1 count. Both these teams jarring for position in the SCBL. The Mooresville Spinners and Lake Norman Copperheads are out in front. Meanwhile, all the teams towards the middle tend to be around 500. The Athletics hovering at 400 right now in conference play. The Corndogs 5-4. The Athletics 2-3. And every single one of these head-to-head matchups matter come playoff time and seeding, as that one's outside for ball number 2. The Athletics second to last in the conference right now, but have only played 5 games compared to the Corndogs 9 as that pitch is fouled back against the back wall. So a 2-2 count now. And a chance for Lanzo to get the first out of the inning for the Corndogs. Lanzo has thrown 6 innings on the year. 3 strikeouts in those 6 innings. Throws the 2-2 pitch here, and it's a swing and a miss. The first strikeout of the day, the 4th of the season for Drew Lanzo. Gets the first out of the inning and sends up number 6, Cade Oler.
Now batting number 6, Cale Ayler.
Cale Ayler from Brevard College, entering his senior year there, is the native from Union Grove, North Carolina. Has been the best batter for the A's, and it's really not a debate. He's 8 of 11 in conference play with 5 RBIs. No other player on the Athletics has more than 3 hits. So a lot of production being carried right there on the back of number 6, Ayler. The lefty going up against Lanzo, who's a lefty himself. One of the few left-handed pitchers for this Corndogs roster. Going to need Lanzo down the stretch, as that one is going to be pumped up for a foul. And a quick 0-2 count now on the best batter for the A's. Homaker still on second base. 1 out. The lefty Lanzo surveying the situation here. Winds this one up and in, and it is popped up into the outfield, and it is gone. That's going to be a Cale Ayler home run to make this game 2-0 here at the bottom of the first. Athletics strike first in this home conference matchup for them. Trying to vie for position in the SCBL, and a great way to start it right there. The second home run of the year for Ayler, and Only 2 home runs on the year for the entire team, both of them courtesy of Ayler. And this one puts them up 2-0 here early.
Now batting number 7, Wilmer Cuevas.
That will send up number 7, Wilmer Cuevas, who swings and misses on that first pitch. Cuevas, a native of Brentwood, New York, making his way all the way down south for summer ball. As this pitch is in for strike number 2, and once again, Lanzo gets ahead of the count. Last time we just saw a bomb to dead center. Lanzo and the Corndogs hoping for a different outcome this time around. As Lanzo deals this one in, and it's fouled over for the third pitch of the inning. Well, the at-bat, excuse me. Cuevas stays alive. The 5'9" righty sees that one just low for ball number 1. Drew Lanzo entered this game with a 4.67 ERA, towards the middle of the pack on the Corndogs. But he's a hot commodity in the transfer portal as a collegiate player, trying to show that out on the circuit this evening and this summer for the Corndogs. So the 2-2 pitch comes in from Lanzo, and it's going to be inside for ball number 3. So after going down 0-2 here, Cuevas battles all the way back to make it a 3-2 count. Corndogs already down 2-0, only have 1 out this inning, no runners on, and the full count pitch is way inside. So a very quality at bat right there from Cuevas. Manages to come back from 0-2 and get walked. And that'll send up number 25, Brady Emerson. Emerson's an interesting case here for the Athletics, where he's batting 100 on the year in conference play, so that's the bad. The good, though, is that he leads the team in stolen bases and walks. So he's getting on base despite hitting poorly, and when he's on base, he's doing a good job of stealing, as that play is going to be not made. Harrison Wilson had a difficult one to track in the sun right there, and the foul ball goes for strike 1. Lucky situation there for Emerson. Emerson in the outfield, the lefty from Belmont Abbey. Corndogs no stranger to Belmont Abbey. We saw Seth Edgerton, the pitcher for the Corndogs last night, throw his best game of the season. He too attends BA. As this count now 0-1. Lanzo gets a swing and a miss for the third straight at batter, put them in an 0-2 hole, but both those batters have reached base, and the former hit one dead center for a 2-run shot. How will Lanzo respond? Gears this one up, and that will be strike number 3, the second out of the inning, the second strikeout of the inning for Drew Lanzo. Give him 5 on the season now, as that sends up number 11, Chris Lee. Chris Lee, batting .333 in SCBL play thus far. Impressive numbers, to say the least. Getting on base 1 out of every 3 times that he hits the ball, that is. OBP. Obviously different than the average here. As the pick attempt at first base, unsuccessful. So a 1-0 count on Lee. Concord out to a 2-0 lead here. Only scored 3 the entire first game against the Corndogs. As Lanzo throws that one in, and the tag is not made in time. Cuevas was trying to get back to first and barely did it. Just got right past the outstretched glove there of Tyler Cotto, who's starting at first tonight for the Corndogs. And the count should be at 2-0, I believe, but nevertheless, that one is going to be just outside for another ball. So Okay, they're going to rule it 2-1, I believe. With Cuevas at first, 2 outs, and that one is in there for a strike. Okay, so maybe now that's 2-1. Okay, it's 2-2. The scoreboard just isn't really able to hear that. So 2-2 count, 1 strike away here for Drew Lanzo of getting out of this inning, and doesn't do it, but the ball is chopped past Miller St. John at shortstop, and now that puts 2 runners on base, keeping the inning alive for the Athletics. And so far, these Concord batters have been able to capitalize despite being down with 2 strikes in the count, multiple hits, the home run. So Drew Lanzo's getting them against the wall, but these Concord batters are doing a great job of saving themselves with their backs against the wall as runners on first and second now. The pitch from Lanzo is in for strike number 1. The new batter up to bat is number 2, Dominic Zinna. Zinna on the year, batting .222 in conference play, has 4 strikeouts. And that one is crushed into the outfield. Garrett Sander chasing it, and that is gone. Dominic Zinna gets his first home run of the conference season for the Athletics. And when it rains, it pours here in the bottom of the first as Concord, after only getting 3 the entire first game against the Corndogs, up to 5-0 here in the bottom of the first inning as Jeff Pluto, the manager for the Corndogs, heads to the plate, heads to the bump, for a conversation with his starting pitcher. Meaning we'll be right back after this quick timeout. Back here as the first pitch is fouled off in this new at-bat. Corndogs trying to rebound here after allowing 5 runs in the bottom of the first. Corndogs have gotten off to slow starts here. The past 3 games have allowed more than 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning, all on the road. Putting themselves in holes early are the Corndogs. As the count now 0-2 once again. And that ball's outside on number 4 in the box right now. That's Sam McAvoy. McAvoy has 3 RBIs on the year, among the team leaders with a .333 average. As that one is a swing and a miss, and Drew Lanzo gets his 3rd strikeout of the inning, but it didn't come without its downsides as the Concord Athletics put up 5 here in the bottom of the first frame. We'll go to the top of the second with the Corndogs down 5-0. top of the second inning here. Corndogs quickly in a 5-run hole. And the first batter to try to chip into this deficit is number 42, Dylan Lewis, who had one of his better performances of the season just last night. Lewis accounted for the 2 go-ahead RBIs that really shifted the momentum of that game. We're down 2 going into the top of the ninth and tied things up, and then Lewis with 2 runners on brought them both home to take the lead that would be for good, as it looks like he's going to record the first hit of the evening for the Corndogs tonight. Dylan Lewis gets on first base with the single to lead off the second, and a nice start here for Queen City as they try to mount a comeback already. That'll send up college teammate of Lewis, number 55, Will Budnick. Budnick didn't play last night against Uwharrie and sees that one in for strike number 1. Budnick on the year, batting a hair under 300, 281 average is the Charlotte native. As Lewis is going to go, and he will get there in time. Dylan Lewis steals a base to give the Corndogs their first runner in scoring position of the evening, and Lewis has 5 steals on the season, make it 6 now. One of the leading base stealers on this Corndogs roster. Had 2 of them last night as well, so showing a little less hesitation to run here as the season has gone on. And he's going to do it again, but this one is fouled off by Budnick, and Lewis will have to trot back over to second. Noah Couch on the mound for the Athletics, as we mentioned, really listed as an outfielder. This roster for the Athletics only has 5 listed pitchers, so they get a lot of field players to step into the game and showcase their versatility, as that is going to be just outside, evening the count at 2 apiece. Noah Couch, freshman at Olivet Nazarene University, native of Jacksonville, Florida. Working on a 2-2 count, checking back at Lewis, and the tag is made. Dylan Lewis gets picked off at second, and just when the Corndogs have something going, it gets taken right away. So first out of the inning here for Queen City after Lewis hit a single, advanced to second on a steal. And now a 2-2 count for Budnick, who is not going to go on that one. High for a full count coming up. Budnick, it's been a bit feast or famine with him. He leads the team in doubles, but also is tied for second in strikeouts, which will prevail here, and it will be the strikeouts, unfortunately, for Queen City. Noah Couch on the bump, doing yeoman's work here early in the second inning. A pickoff to get the first base runner of the night for the Corndogs gone, and then a strikeout. And that'll bring up number 2, Garrett Sanner. Sanner, a staple of the Corndogs lineup thus far in the season, as that pitch is in there for strike number 1. Sanner batting .341 on the year, though in conference play he's only batting .143. Trying to change that tonight against his conference foe up here in Concord. And that one soars near Sanner's head for ball number 1. 2 outs, no runners on. An even 1-1 count for Sanner. As he lines that one over to short, and the throw is made, so 3 up, 3 down the unconventional way here for the Concord Athletics to take a 5-0 lead into the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second inning here. And the first pitch from Lanzo is a strike. Had 3 strikeouts in the first inning despite giving up 5 runs. Not sure that's what he cares about, as the rising sophomore throws that pitch in, and the pitch is lined right into the glove of Miller St. John. Aiden Stewart, now 0 of 12 in SCBL play. Made contact with that one, but took a direct flight to Miller St. John, which sends up another Aiden, this time number 14. Hayden Fur, excuse me, not Aiden. The names sound alike. But close enough. As Hayden Fur, the Pfeiffer University product, sees that first pitch go past him. Fur from Albemarle, North Carolina, where we were last night to watch the Corndogs take on the Wampus Cats. As Lanzo has that pitch blooped up over the head of Tyler Cotto, and a single there for Fur. That one sit perfectly in between all 3 players in that area. And so another hit here for the Athletics.
Number 3, Ben Homaker.
That'll send up number 3, Ben Homaker. So the top of the order here once again for the Athletics in the bottom of the second. As Lanzo, who got singled on the last time that he threw to the leadoff man for Concord, attempting to flip the script. Runner on second with a 2-0 count now. Runner trying to phase out Drew Lanzo, it seems, doing a little hand action there. As the 2-0 pitch from Lanzo is down the middle and fouled for the first strike of the at-bat. 1 out for Corndogs, runner on first. Lanzo looking to bounce back from that rough first inning in which he gave up 5 runs. He winds this one up, does the lefty, and it's lined right to the second baseman. Tapped, and the throw is made for a double play. That's Nathan Sammy, the second baseman for the Corndogs, doing it all himself to bring us to the top of the third with the Athletics still on top, 5-0.
St. John.
Top of the third inning here between the Corndogs and the Athletics. Concord out to a 5-0 lead as Couch retakes the bump, and the first pitch he sees is whacked into the outfield and tracked down right there. 1 pitch, 1 out there from Couch on the mound. The hit almost got there from St. John,
Batting for the
who
Corndogs,
went
number
1 of 4 against the
35,
Wampus Cats.
Willie.
But just not enough on that one, or just not a little on that one. Just too much on that one to drop inside. So with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning, Corndogs only got 1 hit so far. And Josh Lilly steps up to the plate, and that one dribbles to the second baseman, thrown over to first, and 2 pitches, 2 outs here as the Corndogs can't catch a break on either side of the ball. So, with back-to-back
Number
outs,
25, Wilson.
that'll bring up number 25, Harrison Wilson. Harrison Wilson didn't play against... Actually, sorry, did play against Uwharrie. And 3 pitches. Is it going to be 3 outs? Yes, it will. So, quick work, to say the least, about as quick as it can be. And just as soon as you blink, it's going to be the bottom of the 3rd inning after this quick timeout.
And more.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 3rd inning here. Corndogs still trailing 5-0. Some time to make it up. Or should I say some innings to make it up. As Drew Lanzo retakes the bump for Queen City, and the first pitch he throws is right down Central Avenue for strike number 1. In the box for the Athletics to lead things off here is number 1, Ian Moore. Moore is a 143 batter in 2 games of conference play, as that pitch is going to go for ball 1. Even count now as Lanzo has that one popped up into the outfield, and it is going to be tracked down there by number 12, Wilson Lohr. That one got some oomph on it, but just not enough to get past the right field wall. So make it a 1-out inning now for the Corndogs. 2 more to go. And that sends up number 6 for the Athletics, and that's none other than the man of the hour, really, Cale Ayler. Ayler hit one of the 2 home runs in that first inning. It was his 2nd on the year. And impressive enough, the Athletics had more home runs in that first inning than they've had the entire year so far combined in that CBL play. So Ayler, 1 of 1 on the night, obviously. with a 2-0 count now, faced against Lanzo. Make it 2-1 as that pitch drops into the zone for strike number 1. Ayler on the season is putting up phenomenal numbers. 8 of 11 in SCBL play as a big swing right there. He was trying to go for the fences once again. Comes up with nothing. So make it a even count at 2. Lanzo has no runners on base. Hoping to make quick work of Ayler and the Athletics. And he gets the strikeout right there. Another one. The 4th of the night for Lanzo, who came into this game with only 3 strikeouts, so strike zone. Much more comfortable for Lanzo tonight as Cuevas comes back up for his second at-bat. That one's going to be a ball, though. Cuevas got a base hit his last time up. On the season is batting .200 in conference play, the 5'9" righty who attends Central College of Florida. Or the College of Central Florida, excuse me. And Cuevas now in a 2-0 count. 2 outs, no runners on. Corndogs have had some very quick innings on offense, not manufacturing much of a run on that side of the plate. So at this point, holding the Athletics seems a bit paramount. And it's not just the 5-0 lead. This pitch is lined over to Sammy at second, and he'll flip it over to Lanzo at first for the 3rd out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Drew Lanzo, and we're heading to the top of the 4th as the lead stays at 5 for the Athletics. Leading off the top of the 4th inning is the man who just made the play over at second base to get the 3rd out of the last inning, Nathan Sammy. Bottom of the order here for Queen City as Sammy sees a pitch that he likes and launches that one. It is going to be a solo shot here, leading things off, and Sammy gets his first knock of the season. Absolutely catapults that one over the left field wall and gives the Corndogs their first run of the evening. Sammy batting .143 on the year. Got to feel good for him to get that one in. And now a 4-run deficit with the top of the order coming back up for Queen City. Wilson Lohr trying to follow up that act. And that was an absolute no-doubter from the second it left the bat of Sammy. And this one is lined. Going to go to the shortstop. The throw is not made. Wilson Lohr with some good hustle to just get there in the nick of time. And so 2 pitches, 2 hits here against Noah Couch. One of them being a deep home run with Cannon Pierce, who popped up last time, head into the plate. Pierce is 3rd on the team in both average and on-base percentage. And this is with back-to-back lower standard performances for his standards, we should say, as he established himself as the player of the week in the conference. And that one is launched, but it's going to go! That one gets over the right field wall, and 4 home runs through 5 innings here at Concord Baseball Field. And a deep one right there from Cannon Pierce, his second home run of the season. Brings in Lore and makes this game 5-3 now. An offensive affair here in Concord, North Carolina.
Now batting for the Corndogs, number 38, Cotto.
The Sammy home run, that one was a no-doubter. The Pierce one, that one barely got over, and they both put runs on the board, which is what the Corndogs needed. And now here's someone who could put runs on the board. Statistically proven, Tyler Cotto with 17 runs batted in on the year to lead the Corndogs. Has 5 home runs of his own. Facing an 0-1 count, and that one is going foul. Just squeezes past the left field post. Fortunate right there, as a visit to the mound is in store for Noah Couch, and a break is in store for us, but we'll be back for the remainder of the top of the 5th. Corndogs with 2 home runs from Pierce and Sammy have brought this thing back within 2. So, Noah Couch will stay in the game. The athletic staff got to ride with their starter tonight as Cotto chips that one off the ground and will be thrown out at first for the first out of the inning. Cotto now 0 of 2 on the night as Dylan Lewis, who got the first hit of the afternoon, evening for
Number 42,
Queen City, got tagged out at second on an attempted steal. Well, actually, he made the steal, but it was on a pickoff at second, I should say. So Cotto, 0 of 2 on the night, bringing up his college teammate, Dylan Lewis, who takes ball 1 outside. The Corndogs, coming into this game, had 9 home runs on the year, so just under 1 a game. Have put up 2 here in this inning alone, after the Athletics put up 2 of their own in the top of the first. And so far this contest has been one big punch and then another big punch. Who's going to throw the next one as that pitch is thrown for ball number 3? Lewis trying to get over to first base. Went 2 of 4 yesterday. Had 2 steals in that game as well. As Lewis sees one that he likes and chops it to the shortstop. The throw made off the back foot. Not in time. Dylan Lewis scurries on over to first base and gets the hit. His second single of the evening. 2 for 2 now.
Number 55, Budnick.
With Will Budnick stepping up to the plate here for Queen City. Couch, the pitcher for the Athletics, has only thrown 1 strikeout tonight, and it's been to Budnick. Hopefully for him, trying to rekindle that fire that he had earlier in the game, as 3 scoreless innings, and they were done quite easily, have turned into a Corndogs run here in the top of the 4th. The pickoff attempt at first would have been the second of the night that Dylan Lewis got picked off on, but that won't be good. So a reminder for fans who aren't tapped in with every single score for the Corndogs season. The last time these 2 teams played at the Friar, Queen City took that one 14-3. And completely different story this evening as the Athletics came out the gates on fire. Now the Corndogs creeping back into it. Here at Bill Ford Field at Concord High School. Beautiful evening as the Corndogs dugout thought that might have been a balk right there. Couch, the freshman, is one of the leaders on the team in terms of batting. He's an outfielder by nature, though he's had some success on the mound prior to this inning. Now trying to reel himself and the Concord squad in. 1-1 count. Lewis. Not going to go, but Budnick will, as that brings up a 1-1 count now. 1-2, excuse me. Corndogs have one runner on, one out. Budnick at the plate with 9 hits on the season, trying to make it 10, but unable to do so there, as that one is fouled back, keeping the count at 1-2. Couch surveying Lewis at first, as he has quite frequently, and that pitch is popped up for another foul. That one keeps Will Budnick alive in the count, fighting in this at-bat after he struck out the first time he saw Couch this evening. Athletics still in the lead, as that one is blooped up towards short, the flip to second, and the double play not going to be attempted, but still the fielder's choice results in the second out of the inning. Dylan Lewis will jog back to the dugout here as Garrett Sander heads up to bat for Queen City.
Number 2, Sander.
Garrett Sander, the Lenore Rhine product, went 1 of 3 against Uwharrie. Had an RBI double in that contest for only his second extra base hit on the year, despite being among the team leaders in overall hits with 14 of them. And that rare burst of power from Sander helped bring in those 2 runs, bring in that 1 run, part of the rally late in that game, as he knocks this one right over to second base, the flip over to short, and that'll send us to the bottom of the 4th inning. Corndogs get 2 home runs, 1 apiece from Cannon Pierce and Nathan Sammy, but still trail by 2 as we head into the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 4th inning. Athletics still up 5-3, despite giving up 3 runs in the top of this inning. And the first one up to bat for Concord is going to be the lefty right here, Brady Emerson. Emerson has put up some of the most confusing stats I've seen so far this season as a box score analyst. Taking down stats, and first thing that stands out is batting barely triple digits at 100 on the year.
Now batting
So that's interesting. And 4 strikeouts to coincide with that through conference play. Yet has tons of balls and tons of stolen bases as he gets pegged right there from
now batting number
Drew
11,
Lanzo,
Chris Lee.
which sends up number 11, Chris Lee. Lee entering his junior year from Warner Robins, Georgia. Hitting 1 out of every 3 pitches that he sees in simple terms. It's more complicated than that, but we'll keep it simple, as that one is just outside for ball number 1. 1 runner on for Lanzo. Has a handful of strikeouts on the night. With the 1-0 pitch, make it 1-2-0. Just low there from Lanzo. And the Corndogs on the year, right about at their average, give up a ERA, so about 4.6 runs per game allowed for the Corndogs. As the pick attempt, not in time, Emerson gets back in a fraction of a second before things could have turned against him. So yeah, as I was saying, Corndogs allow just under 5 runs per game on the season. Right now, have allowed 5 runs, all in the first inning. If you're a QC faithful, you're hoping that the law of averages comes into play, but that's going to boost the average of Chris Lee as he knocks that one right through the left center gap. And now 2 on base here with no outs. Athletics getting things started off here at the bottom of the 4th, which brings up number 2, Dominic Zinna. And Zinna was one of the 2 players for this athletic squad to hit a home run in the top of the 1st. And with his presence at the plate, that'll bring up a pitching change, it seems. So Drew Lanzo's night is done with 4 strikeouts in just about 3 innings and some change. The UNCW transfer will have his night ended here in the bottom of the 4th, and that will bring out Ron Robinson. After the break, we'll let him get warmed up and come back right here to Concord, where the Athletics, defending their home field right now, up 5-3.
Zena.
All right, that brings up number 2. Dom is they're calling him here, so excuse me, 2 Dom, calling him by his full name. I'm just going off the roster, Dom. And he deserves all the respect he deserves after that early 3-run shot that elevated the Athletics to this lead as the new pitcher in the game, Ron Robinson for the Corndogs. And this move to bring Robinson in seems like a play by manager Jeff Pluta that's saying we're putting all our chips on the table and we want to win this thing tonight, because Robinson has been one of the best pitchers on the season for the Corndogs with a .7 ERA through 4.2 innings pitched, and still manages to have 11 strikeouts on the year, which is good for top 5 on the Corndogs roster. Robinson picking up for Lanzo, who left 2 on base here with no outs, and that one is popped straight up somewhere. Oh, it hit. That might have hit like a. That might have hit an automobile or something. Maybe a generator. Still, loud thud. Game goes on. 1-1 count against Zinna. Robinson not going to throw on that pickoff attempt. Cognizant of Emerson at second base, but just keeping him in check here is Ron Robinson. Zinna from St. Andrews Presbyterian College sees that one go outside, and Josh Lilly, alertly the catcher does, get up. Zinna entering his sophomore year at St. Andrews. Coming into this contest is batting .222 with 4 strikeouts. Now you can add a home run and 3 RBIs to that list after his first inning hit. And that one is bounced straight up and down, and it looks like it might have hit his foot or some part of Zinna's body. So the runners go back to their respective bases. Count goes to 1-2, and Robinson on the verge of getting the first out of the inning for the Corndogs. A lot of work for Robinson to do, being thrown into the fire right here is the USC Lancaster product. With the signature teal glove. He loads that one in, tries to get Zinna with the off speed. Zinna doesn't bite. So now the count even at 2. Robinson rejects the first pitch from Lilly. He knows what he wants to throw, so let's see if he picked right. And that'll be high, and oh, that was actually a full count, so the scoreboard had it wrong. Make it a walk right there for Zinna, which sends up Sam McAvoy. With the bases loaded here for the Athletics, job gets way harder now for Ron Robinson, as if it already wasn't difficult enough. This game still very much so in contention, but that one clipped off the bat of McAvoy for strike number 1. Corndogs proved that they can make a comeback after last night's outing. Things got a little dicey towards the bottom of the 9th, but put up 8 runs in the top of the 9th as that pitch is high for ball number 1. Still no outs here for Queen City. Really in a jam are the Corndogs, as the team has only allowed 4 home runs all year, have allowed 2 so far tonight, and that one is in the dirt. Josh Lilly makes a good stop behind the plate. Maybe saves a run right there for Queen City. As Robinson on the mound, getting tons of strikeouts per inning. The ratio of strikeouts to innings pitched is among the best on the team, as the 2-1 pitch is lined over, and Miller St. John unable to glove it. 2 are going to go home. Emerson tags home. as well as number 11, Chris Lee. So make it 2 more here for the Athletics, and a line drive just unable to be secured by Miller St. John at shortstop, as still not an out to be seen here in this inning on the scoreboard for Queen City. Runners on the corners after McAvoy got that hit, and that'll send up number 24, Aiden Stewart. Stewart being trusted by his coaches, despite having a rough start to the SCBL season statistically. Stewart is the 5'9", 200-pounder from Kannapolis, North Carolina, is 0 of 12 on the year with the team leading 5 strikeouts as he pulls back from that bunt attempt on the ball. So make it a 1-0 count now. No outs. Zena at third. McAvoy at first. Robinson will have those runs go towards Lanzo as the bunt is laid almost perfectly. Trying to bring Zena in from third and extend this lead are the Athletics, but that one will just trickle foul, so make it a 1-1 count now on Aiden Stewart, who, like Zena, attends St. Andrews Presbyterian College. The 5'9" righty going up against Ron Robinson. Sees this pitch go right down Main Street for strike number 2. Corndogs need outs and need them relatively quickly, as this 7-3 affair is proven to be an offensive showing, as the runner is going to go. St. John this time gets it, but will not have the double play available. Flips it over to first, So Zena will score on that fielder's choice. McAvoy will advance to second. Already had a good lead to second after the steal attempt. And that'll bring up Hayden Furr, who got a single his last time up. The lead now 8-3 in favor of Concord, though 1 out on the scoreboard is encouraging for Queen City. Ron Robinson has just 1 runner on. It's on second, and it's McAvoy, as that pitch is just above the plate for ball number 1. The Athletics, second to last in the SCBL conference. A win against an opponent like the Corndogs would obviously do them a ton of favors in the standings, as that pitch is high for ball number 2. So a 2-0 count, 1 out. Robinson deals this one in, and that's going to go for strike number 1 of the at-bat. Robinson last pitched in Game 2 of Monday's doubleheader against the Regulators. Threw 4 strikeouts in 4 innings and some change. Has thrown about 9 innings on the year. As that pitch is fouled back into the woods for evening 2-2 count now. So, Corndogs doing anything right now to get out of this inning. Allowed 3 more here in the bottom of the 4th. And that one is going to be popped up. Cotto, will he be able to get there? And no, he won't. Over the wall. Would have had to do some parkour to even have a chance at that one. So that'll bring up a 2-2 pitch once again here. Two pitch from Robinson goes right towards the dome of the batter, Hayden Furr. Furr, prior to that last hit, was 0 of 10 in conference play, so got to feel good for him to get that first one. Let's see if he can build some momentum off of that one, as curbing a lot of trends tonight are the Athletics. Came into this game with only one home run. Got 2 of them in the first inning alone. Have been having players get their first hits of the conference season. Really an all-around great performance as that one is into the dirt for ball number 4. Still just 1 out, and this nightmare of an inning for the Corndogs continues.
Now batting for the A's, number 3, Ben Homaker.
That'll bring back up Ben Homaker with the top of the lineup here for the 3rd time this afternoon/evening for, well, I guess it's 8 p.m., just very bright here. Days getting longer as the summer goes on, and this inning getting longer for every single Corndogs player and fan, as it seems like outs are trying to catch an eel in a barrel right now. As Robinson with a 1-0 pitch has that one whiffed on right there. Homaker goes out swinging. The 5'9", 170-pounder from the College of Charleston. He's batting .500 in 3 conference games. As that one is going to be high for ball number 2. The inning started with Drew Lanzo on the mound. Started tonight's game and allowed the 5 runs in the top of the first. Then put 2 more on base and was swapped out for Robinson. And fortunately for Queen City, things have not gotten much better as that pitch is up high for ball number 3. And with 2 runners on, only 1 out, the Corndogs reeling right now. That brings Josh Lilly to the mound to talk to his pitcher. Lilly making back-to-back starts behind the plate. And this is a very odd performance for Rod Robinson. Came into this game with 3 straight scoreless appearances. Yet here we are with an 8-3 deficit for the Queen City Corndogs. 2 runners on base and things on the verge of being very ugly as the runner gets caught in a pickle here. And that tag is going to be applied. Number 4 right there. That's Sam McAvoy. Got caught in between 2 bases at once. And the Corndogs find a way to get the second out of the inning with a 3-1 count still on the batter, Ben Homaker. And that one is popped up and foul. So 3-2, a full count here, and the Corndogs really digging for any sort of momentum here. A strikeout would certainly get a little spark going, you would assume. That relies on the right arm of Ron Robinson, though, as he locks, loads, fires, and gets the strikeout that he needed. So the Corndogs give up 3 more after scoring 3 of their own in the top of the 4th, and that brings us to the top of the 5th, where the Athletics are up 8-3 here at home. Welcome back here. After a fourth inning that seemed like it lasted 4 years, we're here at the top of the fifth. Both teams put up 3 in the frame. Athletics extend their lead to 5 with Noah Couch returning to the mound as Miller St. John rips that one, and it is into the glove of the outfielder. Just not enough juice on that one for St. John. Goes 0 of 2 on the night. The ground up, and now that fly out. And a quick out here for the Corndogs, and a substitution made.
Now batting for the Corndogs, number 35, Lily.
That's going to bring in number 37, Harrison Bouthelet, coming in place of Josh Lilly, likely meaning that he'll be behind the plate as well as the new catcher in the game on defense. But first order of business is offense for Bouthelet. Number 37 for Queen City, batting .250 on the year. And wanted all of that one right there, but comes up with nothing. Bouthelet, second on the team in strikeouts, but third on walks. So balances each other out a bit as Couch gets that one in there for strike number 2, and a quick 0-2 count against Bouthelet. After allowing 3 in the top of the fourth, Couch returning a bit to his ways here as that pitch is fouled back for another strike, though it'll not really matter for Bouthelet. Just keeps him alive in the count. The count in question 0-2, so work to do for Bouthelet, who sees this pitch low, bounce right off home plate, and bring up the first walk of the at-bat for Bouthelet, who on the season has 8 hits and 8 RBIs, does the Indian land native. Last played on Tuesday against Mooresville, where he went 1 of 3, striking out 2 times. The lefty takes this one and pops it up somewhere. And for the second time this at-bat, keeps himself alive. Corndogs trying to keep themselves alive. Got out to a 5-0 deficit early, and just when you thought they had a comeback, it didn't really mean much as Bouthelet launches that one, and it is going to be tracked down in the outfield by number 11. I believe that's Chris Lee out there who got underneath it. So 2 up, 2 down,
Number 25, Wilson.
which sends up number 25, Harrison Wilson. Wilson, 0 of 1 on the night. Batting .150 on the year is the Winthrop product. Takes this pitch high for ball number 1. Harrison Wilson from Fort Mill, South Carolina, has only 3 hits on the year, but leads the Corndogs in doubles with, you guessed it, 3 of them, as that one is fouled back. So a 1-1 count here against Wilson. No runners on, 2 outs. A chance for Noah Couch to retire the side, as the Jacksonville native winds this one up and bounces off the shin guard of the catcher. Count elevates to 2-1 now. Reaching the bottom of the order for the Corndogs, Harrison Wilson, then Nathan Sammy. After those two, the top of the rotation comes back up. But with 2 outs and a 2-1 count, work to do to get to that top of the lineup. Couch has been steady relatively, besides really the 4th inning, as that pitch is fouled back, and the count now at 2-2. Harrison Wilson also plays on the mound as a relief pitcher for this Corndog squad and has been really sensational as a relief guy. Has allowed no hits and had 2 strikeouts in his last game and against the Regulators on Monday. Got some relief work right there as the count now full. Corndogs hoping to get their first base runner of this inning. As apart from that little flurry in the top of the fourth, we've really seen Couch and the Athletics make quick work of Queen City. That one, though, fouled back from Wilson. Noah Couch. The Olivet Nazarene University freshman. It's been really solid tonight, but that one is solidly hit, and it is going to be tracked down, just not enough on it from Harrison Wilson. So once again for the Corndogs, they go 3 up, 3 down, and this sends us to the bottom of the 5th inning. Athletics on top, 8-3. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 5th inning, Corndogs still down here by 5 runs. As a new pitcher into the game for Queen City is number 7, Grayson Munyon. And Munyon gets a strike on the first pitch that he throws to the new batter for the Athletics. Drake Wallace into the game for his first at-bat. Another guy who goes to St. Andrews. Sees that one fouled right back towards me for an 0-2 count now. The pitch from Munyon goes high for the first ball of the at-bat. With that one fouled back once again. So Wallace keeping himself alive and doing a good job at it. As Munyon making his first appearance since the game against the Regulators on Monday, or should I say one of the doubleheader games. In that game, he threw 2/3 of an inning with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. And that one's going to go for a ball. 2-2 count now on Drake Wallace. Munyon takes his time, loads this one in, and it's going to be high. So a full count now. Wallace has fought his way all the way back. Wallace batting .300 in conference play. Munyon with a 7.0 ERA. As that is going to be a walk. Wallace climbs all the way back in that one to get on base and send up the man who hit the big home run to start things off, Cale Ayler. Ayler, the 6', 190-pound lefty from Brevard College, has made plenty of impact on the season for the Athletics and for the Athletics tonight. As with no outs, runner on, Munyon hoping to help Queen City cling on to whatever chances they still have in this one, as that pitch is whiffed on for strike number 1. Munyon, who goes to Birmingham Southern, tied for the Corndogs lead in terms of highest ERA. But with limited innings thrown, as that one is whiffed on once again. Cale Ayler now facing a situation which he will have to protect the plate. Munyon on the verge of getting his first out of the inning for Queen City. Drake Wallace resides on first, takes a lead, and that one is blasted into the outfield, but just not enough, as center fielder for the Corndogs, Garrett Sanner, gets underneath that one. And one down here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner still on first, which sends up number 22, Taj Bates. Bates has yet to get an at-bat this evening. He's 1 of 10 on the year in conference play, 3 strikeouts. But if tonight's proven anything, it's that these numbers not looming large for the Athletics, because they are swinging like they are full of 300-plus batters. Bates is a rising junior at Benedict College. He plays his ball. Facing a 1-0 count, make it a 2-0 count after Munyon throws that one high. Bates, with 1 out, 1 runner on, will take that one inside, and a quick 3-0 count for Grayson Munyon. The Corndogs, in their last contest, threw 10 strikeouts and walked 10 batters. As that one is lifted up, and it is caught foul. A quick little walkover there for Harrison Wilson to get the second out of the inning for the Dogs. Taj Bates is retired, and that will bring up number 25, Brady Emerson. Emerson, the senior from Mount Holly, North Carolina, has certainly made an impact tonight, getting on base. Munyon here has 2 outs to work with. Wallace at first still, as that pitch is in there for strike number 1. Munyon entering his senior year at Birmingham Southern. The Tennessee native hopping over a state or two to play college ball with the Corndogs and making an impact here, as that one is strike number 2. Pitching has certainly been a little shaky tonight for the Corndogs. But with a handful of innings left to do some work, going scoreless would be a big win for Queen City right here as that pitch is outside for ball number 1. Munyon, the 6'2", 190-pounder, deals this one in for strike number 3. Munyon gets the Corndogs out of the inning with no runs allowed, and that will bring us to the top of the 6th inning, where the Athletics still on top, 8-3. Welcome back, everyone. Top of the 6th inning here. Game
Leading off
still
for
in
the
reach,
Corndogs,
but
number 5,
getting close here
Sammy.
as Nathan Sammy, who launched one to left field the last time he stepped up to the plate, 1 of 1 on the night with the solo shot, leading off an inning for the second time this evening, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Athletics. It's going to be number 34, Jack Sorensen, who throws that one at the ankles of Nathan Sammy. Sammy now with 4 hits on the year, 2 RBIs. Sees that one go high for ball number 2. Sammy batting below 150 coming into this game. Sure, it felt fantastic for him to make such pure contact with the ball and really destroy one over for a home run, as that one is chopped back for a foul, and a 2-1 count now against Sammy, the Middlebury player during his collegiate season. Was 0 of 1 last night, got a stolen base though, as the pitch from Sorensen is lined and gloved right there. A nice play in the second base position right there from number 2, Dominic Zena, continuing his game of excellent play after the 3-run home run in the top of the first. And the first out of the inning on the lineout.
Corndogs, number 12, Lure.
That'll bring up Wilson Lohr, number 12 for Queen City. Lohr, 1 of 2 tonight, has a single and then popped out his first time up. Sorensen on the mound, getting his 3rd inning of work of conference play, and that one is just outside for ball number 1. And to put it lightly, Sorensen I don't know. It can't go more downhill than his first appearance, where in 2 innings pitched, he allowed 4 runs and now has an 18.0 ERA as that one is dribbled over to Zena, concentrates and makes the play. So 2 gloves right there from Dominic Zena to go 1-2 here
Now
in
batting
the
for
top of the 6th,
Corndogs, number 10, Pierce.
which sends up number 10, Cannon Pierce. Pierce last time he was in the right batter's box saw one carry over the right field wall for his second home run of the season. The pitch is going to be just inside for ball number 1. Sorensen, 6 foot, 245, goes to Abilene Christian University in Texas, but is actually a native of Cloquet, Minnesota. All over the map is Sorensen, as that pitch is not in the strike zone, so a 2-0 count. Wilson Lohr leads the team in stolen bases, has the best average on the squad, and in conference play, ridiculous 524 average, as that one will contribute to the said average. Another single for Lohr. Oh, excuse me, that's Pierce. That's totally my bad. That's Cannon Pierce.
Now batting for the Corndogs,
So
number
Cannon Pierce
38,
gets his second hit of the afternoon, excuse me. So Pierce with a single and a home run on the night, and Tyler Cotto up to bat, 0 for 2 on the evening. 1 runner on, and that one's in there for strike number 1. Cotto with the best OBP on the roster, as well as the best slugging percentage and the best OPS, as that one is popped up, and with 2 outs, the play made by none other than Dom Zena. So Zena, the Staten Island native, records all 3 outs of the inning for the Athletics and sends us to the bottom of the 6th with Concord still up 8-3.
and Chris Lee.
All right, bottom of the 6th inning here. This game wearing on, and a new pitcher in the game for your Queen City Corndogs, none other than number 14, Will Hansen, who saw action just last night and gets a strike on his first pitch against number 11, Chris Lee. lead from Warner Robins, Georgia, in an 0-1 hole here. Make it 0-2 as Hansen gets out ahead on the count. Hansen with a 7.3 ERA on the season, though he leads the Corndogs in innings pitched. Got a lot of tread on those tires as this one grounded over to St. John, scoops it up, and throws it to Tyler Cotto for the first out of the inning. And excuse me, that's Will Budnick actually at first base now. Cotto's teammate at Queens. So 1 up, 1 down for Will Hansen. Hansen with a team second on the team in strikeouts with 14 of them on the year. Didn't need to get the K right there as that one still counts as an out. And a no runners on situation for Zena as he'll go on the first pitch and won't get anything on that. So Zena, who had a busy 6th inning on the defensive side of the ball, recorded all 3 outs to get us to this point. Now in an 0-2 hole, chases on that one, and Will Hansen with a little bit of bounce on the mound, feeling himself right here early. Hansen pitched 1.1, so 1 inning and an out last night. Coming in relief. Only allowed 1 hit in that stretch with no earned runs, obviously, and 2 strikeouts, as that is going to be a strikeout right there for Will Hansen. Make it 15 on the year now for number 14. And 2 quick outs here with Sam McAvoy heading up to the plate. McAvoy from Edward Water College, batting .333 on the year with 3 RBIs. Another guy on this team from the northern Midwest, if that's a region. McAvoy, native of Duluth, Minnesota. Wonder if he's used to this weather. And Will Budnick makes a fantastic play at first, gloving it and giving the Corndogs a 3-up, 3-down inning here on defense, just what the doctor ordered. So top of the 7th, right around the corner with the Athletics still on top, 8-3. Back here from Bill Ford Field at Concord High School, where the Athletics got out to a 5-0 lead in the top of the first, and after both teams traded 3 runs in the 6th, or the 4th, excuse me, have kept it even since then with the 5-run lead for Concord and a 1-0 count against Dylan Lewis, who is 2 of 2 on the evening, both for singles, as that one fouled back for strike number 1, evening the count at 1-1. Lewis on the season has 9 hits, 11 RBIs, and 11 hits now after tonight's performance. So becomes the next Corndog to cross the double-digit hit threshold. batting .242 coming into the year, or into the game, excuse me, as this pitch is high to make the count 3-0, I believe. It should 3-1, excuse me. Jack Sorensen still in the game, who held the Corndogs scoreless. A welcome sight for him after his poor start to the season. And Lewis chops that one over to third. The play is going to be made, snared at first. Right there, a great play to scoop that one up by Cale Ayler. And Ayler and Zena playing second and first, respectively. Really doing a good job on both sides of the ball. Accounted for both home runs tonight for the Athletics and have made some stellar plays on defense. So now, Will Budnick up to bat. Started tonight's game as an extra hitter. Got moved to first base, pardon me. Has struck out and batted into a fielder's choice. In fact, he's the only batter that struck out tonight for the Corndogs after 10 of them did it against the Wampus Cats. Or excuse me, I should say after 7 of them did it against the Wampus Cats. And so that'll be a 1-1 count, that one just outside. And as this game has flown on by, been really a affair in which there's been 3 big half innings and the rest have been quick defensive scoreless frames, with Sorensen aiming to add another to the list here for the Athletics, who are still riding that early run. And Will Budnick lines that one into the outfield, and it'll be gloved right there by Furr. So 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Bringing up number 2, Garrett Sanner.
Number 2, Sanner.
Sanner so far has grounded out twice tonight. Continuing to look to find his bat that he had early in the season as we approach conference play, the meat of the schedule, and that will be a low ball for a 1-0 count. Sanner, still 4th on the team in average, 2nd on the team in hits. And that one is going to be popped foul over the Corndogs dugout. 1-1 count now on Sanner. The Corndogs as a team on the season are batting .285. Not too shabby. Getting on base 44% of their at-bats as this pitch is lined into the right center gap, and it will not be caught. A base hit for Sanner, getting his first knock of the evening. As Miller St. John steps up to the plate here. Excuse me, Harrison Boothellette is actually going to come in. Oh, actually, my bad. Harrison Boothellette was coming there to get the bat. He was being a good teammate. It's number 26 in the game now, Dave Masri, in the place of St. John. Masri has
now batting number 26,
had a
Missouri.
pretty under-the-radar season amongst all these Corndogs that have had some huge games. He's been very steadfast in the box as he takes strike 1, looking right there. Masri has a .333 average with 9 hits and 3 RBIs. The Weddington native has the 5th best average on the team, but it is clearly 5th as the flip over to second will get the final out of the 7th inning here for the Corndogs. And that'll bring us to the bottom half of the frame with, you guessed it, the Athletics still up 8-3. Bottom of the 7th inning here with number 24, Aiden Stewart at bat. Still yet to get a hit for the SCBL season. And looks off that pitch for ball number 1. 1-0 count here for Hansen, who returns to the bump after a very solid inning last time out. That one fouled back for a count that's now evening out at 1-1. Stewart, the 5'9" righty, sees this one, and it looks like that one clipped him on the elbow. So a leadoff runner here for the Athletics as Stewart trots on over to first.
Now batting number 14, Hayden Furr.
That sends up number 14, Hayden Furr, the Pfeiffer University sophomore, who is just about one of 11, I believe, in conference play. Got his first hit recorded tonight as he looks that one for strike number 1. Hansen, who leads the Corndogs in a ton of volume categories such as pitches thrown, is up there in innings thrown, came into earlier the week, had almost double the amount of pitches of anyone else on the team. That's cooled off a bit, obviously, but those volume stats pay off both ways. He's given up by far the most hits on the Corndogs, yet he also is one of the leaders in both strikeouts and strikeouts per 9 innings, as that pitch is going to go low for ball number 1. The count at 1-2. Sun just about fully set here from Bill Ford Field, as this pitch is blasted into the outfield. Furr is not going to get enough juice on it, though, as that'll be the first out of the inning. That one sounded like it could have gone the distance, but tracked down by Wilson Lohr out there in right field. And
Now
one down, 2 to go.
Number 3, Ben Homicker.
That sends up Ben Homicker, the leadoff man for the Athletics tonight. Homicker, the College of Charleston product from Marietta, Georgia. Sees that one low for ball number 1. Corndogs. Really, obviously not necessary, but getting out of this inning without allowing a run would be much needed, as Queen City's avoiding, or trying to avoid at least, going to 500 in conference play. Currently sit at 3rd in the SCBL standings. As that one is lined dead center. The one hop goes to Sander. He throws it to Nathan Sammy at second base. And the runner Wilson will get there. So 2 on.
Number 8, Drake Wallace.
Which sends up Drake Wallace. The Corndogs sit 4th in the conference. This Athletics team is 5th. Both trying to establish themselves a little bit here in SCBL play. Mooresville has pulled ahead of the standings. Half a game ahead of second place Copperheads, as that pitch is low and inside for another ball. Make the count 1-0 on Drake Wallace, who had a sensational at-bat his last time up to get walked after going in an 0-2 hole. 1 out here. Hansen hoping to keep the Corndogs in this one, as that one is fouled off the netting. Back behind us, so count even at 1 for Drake Wallace. And that one goes right down Central Avenue for strike number 2. Corndogs have, as it stands, 6 outs to get back in this contest. But of course, that starts on this side of the ball. 2 runners on, 1 out. 1-2 count. The pitch from Hansen is outside for ball number 2. Wanted that one. As Hansen, who has been a workhorse for this Queen City squad, the young arm from the Catholic University of America, surveys Wilson at second base. Feeds this into Wallace, and it is lined over the head of Nathan Sammy, and that will not bring anyone home, but it does load the bases here. So with 1 out, all 3 runners on for the Athletics. Getting to the danger zone here if you're Jeff Fluta and the Corndogs.
Now batting for the A's, number 6, Cal Ayler.
Yeah, you might have heard over the PA, but that's where the whole danger thing comes in. The man who hit the leadoff home run tonight for the Athletics, Cal Ayler, the best power hitter on this Athletics roster with 2 dingers on the season, has bases loaded with 1 out. Hansen gonna need some of his best stuff here to pull out of this inning, as the righty deals this one in and gets a swing and a miss out of Ayler so far in the at-bat. Though young, Hansen gets out ahead with Harrison Bouthelette, catcher for the Corndogs. Came in place of Josh Lilly, who had a solid game behind the plate, made some nice stops. Started 2 games in a row, has Lilly, so getting much deserved rest is the USC Lancaster product. With Bouthelette back behind the plate now, working with Hansen. And Hansen working with an 0-1 count, make it 0-2. Bases loaded and the best hitter up at bat for this Athletics squad. Hansen attempting to put Ayler away. Hansen locks. He loads, he fires, and that one is going to be lined right to the glove of Nathan Sammy, who gets the double play by tagging second. Nathan Sammy continues what is clearly his best game of the season and keeps the Corndogs alive as we head to the top of the 8th with an 8-3 lead still intact for the Athletics. But getting out of a jam right there are the Queen City Corndogs. Crunch time here for the Corndogs as Jack Sorensen still on the bump with 2 scoreless innings thus far after allowing 4 runs in
37,
2 innings
fouled
in
away.
his first outing. As Harrison Boothillet steps up for his second AB of the night. Corndogs down to 6 outs here. Boothillet to San Jacinto, incoming freshman, can be the first to start things off as the lefty takes the first pitch he sees and has to play a little limbo with that one. Went right by his collarbone, so an 1-0 count now. Boothillet, the 6'1", 180-pound catcher, sees that one go for ball number 2. Has been walked. Only 2 Corndogs have been walked more than Boothillet, as that one is fouled right straight down, so make it a 1-2 count on Boothillet. Queen City on the evening. He's gotten 2 home runs, handful of singles, but not much else. Down 3-8. Coming up towards the end of this contest as Boothillet sees that pitch go in for strike number 2, and now it's time for the catcher to do what he does best, defend the plate. This time on offense as the Indian Land native, instantly recognizable with those baby blue gloves, sits on that one and lets it go to bring up a full count. Boothillet, an all-state player at Metro Atlanta Christian Academy. Power hitter, which we've seen in spurts this year, as that one is straight up. Goes foul, though. Had to hesitate there because I thought it might have hit me on my noggin. Still, though, count as full as ever. A battle here between Sorensen and Boothillet. Sorensen winds this one up, and Boothillet winds that one back, and it is caught back towards the warning track. A great play right there by the outfielders of the Athletics, and Boothillet made good contact with that one, but just couldn't get enough under it for his second flyout of the evening. Sending up number 25, Harrison Wilson. Harrison Wilson is 0 for 2 tonight. 0 for 1 last night against Uwharrie with a base on balls. The two-way player takes a 1-0-1 pitch, Corndogs now got 5 outs left if they want to make a run at this one. Had to wait to the very end of the game yesterday to make a furious come from behind effort against the Uwharrie Wampus Cats. Tonight, though, the deficit much larger, as the pitch from Sorensen is fouled back against the stop for strike number 2. 1-2 count here. Harrison Wilson, the Winthrop product. The 6'3", 215-pounder. 0 for his last 3 over the stretch of a 2-game span. Batting 150 on the year. Gearing up here, and the pitch from Sorensen is hit right back to Sorensen. Bounces, and the play won't be made. Zena didn't even bother throwing that one out of fear of it going even worse, so you'll take the single right there instead of an error and an extra base. So, the first hit of the night for Wilson puts a runner on base for the first time this inning, as with 1 out, Nathan Sammy steps up to bat. Sammy 1 for 2 on the night. Has made some sensational plays on both offense and defense as Wilson Has to get back to first to avoid the pick. The big two plays from Sammy. On defense, we're just in this past inning with the double play on the line out and the awareness to tag second as that one is straight up, and Zena will get under it for the second out of the 8th inning. So 1 for 3 for Sammy on the night,
Now batting for the
which
Corndogs,
sends
number
up
12,
Wilson Lohr.
Uwharrie.
Wilson Lohr is 1 of 3 on the night, which is obviously solid, but when you're batting .524 in conference, the ceiling is quite high as the expectations, and that one is tipped back by Lohr for strike number 1. Lohr, the 6'3" native of Charlotte, playing at Southern Wesleyan College after 2 years at Southeastern Community College. With a little stop in between here for the Corndogs, playing his summer ball in an 0-1 count, but Wilson is going to go. The ball and the tag is not going to be there. So a steal and a ball. Ideal situation right there for Queen City as the count evens out at 1 with the runner in scoring position. Corndogs did a lot of their damage yesterday night with 2 outs, and some of it even came with 2 strikes on 2 outs, like that Dylan Lewis go-ahead 2-run double. So let's see if that confidence carries over as that ball carries over into the glove of Furr, and that will bring us to the bottom of the 8th after yet again another scoreless half inning. Concord maintains their 8-3 advantage here in the waning moments of this contest. Welcome back here for the bottom of the 8th inning, live from Concord, North Carolina, where the home team, the Concord Athletics, still up 8-3 with number 22, Taj Bates, for Concord up at the plate. Meanwhile, a new pitcher into the game for Queen City, number 33, Peter Gullo, the two-way player. Bounces that one off the back netting. Spiked that one for ball number 1. Gullo on the season, since he does play both in the infield and on the mound. Only seen 2 innings of action on the bump. with the 2-0 count coming up here. That being said, in those 2 innings, he has 2 strikeouts and has only allowed 1 hit, and still spotless with no runs. But that one goes back towards the stop, and a quick 3-0 advantage here for Taj Bates. Bates, the junior from Columbia, South Carolina, home of the Gamecocks, though he plays for Benedict College during the baseball season, as that pitch is going to be a strike. Make it 2-1 now. Excuse me, I thought that it was 3-1 before. So a 2-1 count for Gullo, who attends Anderson University, and that one is fouled back, bringing up an even 2-2 count. Corndogs, unless they take the lead, have 3 outs to at least tie this game, and that is if they can get out of this inning without any runs seeded, with Bates fouling that one back. Full count. Peter Gullo, 6'2", 225, right from Charlotte, North Carolina. Loads this one up, and it is popped straight up and lands right on top of the roof of the Corndogs dugout. If we were playing with open roofs, then maybe the play could have been made, but obviously that's not how this works. So count remaining at 3-2. Gullo, one more chance at this thing, and it's another foul ball. Bates really battling here against Gullo. The full count. Frozen in time right now in this battle between 33 and 22, and it's going to be a walk. So Taj Bates hangs in there and gets on base for the first runner of the inning to reach base. As number 25, Brady Emerson, sends it up towards the base, home plate. Brady Emerson, the Mount Holly, North Carolina native. Lefty, who entered this game batting 1 of 10 and fouls that one for a strike. So 0-1 count now for Gullo, who also, as we mentioned, plays as a batter. So in his last game against the Regulators, went 1 of 2 in Game 2 versus the Regulators with 2 RBIs. Saw an appearance last night, but that one by Emerson is crushed. Yet it's going to go foul. So Wilson Lohr still getting there just in case, but an 0-2 count for Emerson. Fortunate he didn't get any more push on that one, as that one could have been right over the right field bushes here at Bill Ford. Gullo with the 0-2 advantage, trying to put out the first batter for the Athletics this inning. Gullo deals this one in, and it is soaring near the head of Emerson. Fortunately for Gullo, it didn't result in a hit by pitch. The big righty on the bump. With no outs so far, Taj Bates taking a semi-decent lead at first, and that one goes off the dirt through the legs of Bouthillette and skies all the way to the top of the net. Taj Bates rumbles on over to second base, and the count moves to 1-2. Still very much so in favor of Gullo, but got to capitalize, or else that being ahead in the count really doesn't mean much. We'll see if Gullo is able to do that right up ahead. He winds this one up, and that one is going to drill the shoulder of Emerson. So 2 runners on, with number 14, Hayden Furr, stepping up to bat. Oh, excuse me, that's actually number 11, Chris Lee. And a little meeting on the mound here between Gullo and Bouthelet. Really do or die time here for the Corndogs.
Now batting for the
Already
A's,
down
number
5,
8.
and they prove they can put up a lot of runs in a hurry. But if you allow any more here, you're playing with fire, asking for that type of comeback 2 nights in a row. As no outs still, both runners taking a moderate lead, and the first pitch of this at bat goes in for a strike. Chris Lee watches that one go in the zone. Gullo looks back at Bates on second. And that one is lined past Nate Sammy. And Taj Bates is going to try to round home. Runner trying to get to third, and no play is made either of those places. Emerson advances to third. Lee advances to second, and Bates gives the Athletics one more run here, increasing the cushion. 9-3 now in favor of Concord. 2 runners in scoring position and no out yet in the inning. Corndogs' chances getting slimmer by the moment. Dominic Zena heading up to the plate. One of 2 Athletics to go yard this evening.
Now batting for the A's, number 2, Dom Zena.
And he entered this game only batting .222 with 4 strikeouts, so turning his fortunes around here as that pitch is low for ball number 1. Zena, the Staten Island native, coming down for some Southern hospitality here and making himself right at home with that home run. With the 1-1 count, Zena took it looking. Had to nod the head. Can't refute that call as it went right down the middle. One's on the board for Gullo, who has that one stopped by Bouthelet. 2-1 now. With that one getting right inside, so I should say right inside towards Zena rather than right inside of the strike zone, because it is going to be a ball for a 3-1 count now, with Gullo having that one blasted off, but for a foul. That makes it another full count. Corndogs already battling against the odds, as that is going to be a ball. Loading the bases once again. No out still with number 4, Sam McAvoy heading up to bat, the Minnesota native. Quartered a hit earlier that drove in a run. Corndogs scored 3 runs in the 4th inning. Haven't scored since, and in that same 4th inning allowed 3 runs. So still the 4th inning becomes a wash, virtually. And the deciding factor in this game, once again, has been the Corndogs getting off to a slow start on the mound. 3 straight games giving up over 4, as that one hit by number 4, and it's going to be caught by Wilson Lohr. Yet it will bring in a run. That's going to be number 25, Brady Emerson, getting the tag, getting home, and extending this lead to 7 for the Athletics. So now runners on first and second.
Now batting number 24, Aiden Stewart.
Which sends up number 24, Aiden Stewart. The first pitch he sees, it looks like he might have gone on that. Did he? And it looks like he did, so making an 0-1 count on Stewart. Corndogs down 7 now, allowing 2 more here in the bottom of the 8th. with that one being a swing and a miss. Now just one strike away. Gallo. Looks back at second, deals this one in and gets a strikeout right there. 2 down for Gallo and the Corndogs. And at this point, all you can ask for your Queen City, if you're a manager Jeff Pluta, is just to stop the bleeding while you're still barely alive. Might be anemic right now, but there's still 3 outs to play. The game ain't over till it's over. As the pitch is going to be a... Did he go? Did Fur go? It looks like he did. So a 0-1 count on Hayden Fur. Got his first hit of the season tonight. 2 on as Fur watches that one go just high for ball number 1. So, an even 1-1 count. Gallo hoping to will his Corndogs to the top of the 9th. I was about to say maybe with the fighter's chance, but you'd have to be a different level of fighter. You'd have to be an alien fighter. 7-run deficit. As that one is drilled into the foul ball territory right by the bullpen. Looked like maybe someone could have gotten there in time. It hung up in the air for a tad bit, but not long enough. So count remains 1-2. Gallo has allowed 2 runs this inning. Hayden Fur at bat. One of the outfielders for this athletic squad. 5'11", 180-pound righty. Drills that one way up there. It's going to go foul. Almost the play. Can't see from our vantage point, but it looks like Harrison Wilson might have almost got in there. And that's when you wish you had a different little seating point, but we're front row and center here for the bottom of the 8th inning. Best seats in the house. And athletics fans here in attendance in Concord have to be quite pleased with their team's performances. That is going to be a strikeout for Gallo. Allows 2 runs here to extend the Concord lead to 7, but the Corndogs still have 3 outs. It's an uphill battle to say the least, but a battle nevertheless, and we'll see it take place at the top of the 9th after this quick break. last chance here for the Corndogs. Top of the 9th inning. And Cannon Pierce up to bat, leading things off for Queen City in a game that has just not gone their way. Still, though, 3 outs to make it go their way. No easy task as the pitcher in the game for the Athletics, number 34, Jack Sorensen, has held the Dogs scoreless through his entire tenure on the bump this evening. But a quick 2-0 count now on Cannon Pierce, who is 2 for 3 on the night with a home run and a single. The lefty rips that one towards the Corndogs dugout to bring it to a 2-1 count. Pierce, coming off a 1-of-5 night against the Wampus Cats, has to be, if not pleased with the team's performance, as he likely isn't. At least his individual performance has him getting back to some confidence, as that one is going to just be foul, probably for the better, as it looked like Pierce probably wouldn't have gotten there in time. So even 2-2 count now for Pierce. Has gone yard tonight. Added a single. Now is second on the Corndogs in home runs. Was tied for second for most of the season with every other player who's got one shot. Now he's got 2 of them. As that one, good contact made, but pulls foul. 2-2 count. Stays in place. And Jack Sorensen, the Minnesota native on the bump, has really been sensational tonight. The Abilene Christian University pitcher came into this game with an 18.0 ERA, has surely bounced back. That bounces back against the stop. The pitch escapes the glove of number 24, Aiden Wilson, the catcher tonight for the Athletics. So, full count here. Pierce trying to be the catalyst for a rally. And that one is lifted into the outfield, but won't go far enough as... No, the catch isn't made! Pierce is going to get a... Is he? Pierce is going to get tagged out at second. A wild sequence of events. The dropped fly ball, which allows Cannon Pierce to try to round first, get to second, and lo and behold, Cannon Pierce tagged out. Disaster turns into a miracle, turns into a disaster again for Queen City. So Pierce, with technically the hit, will improve to 3 and 4 on the night, but that's a big moment in this game. Corndogs only have 2 outs left. Tyler Cotto takes strike 1 looking. Cotto has yet to get on base this evening, which is truly atypical for him as he goes out swinging on that one. Make it a 0-2 count for Cotto, who has the best on-base percentage on his Corndogs team, which is quite impressive considering that he's such a power hitter. And that's going to be strike number 3. Looking, the pitch from Sorensen won't get a swing out of Cotto. And only the second strikeout of the night for this athletic squad. They've been getting it done with some true infield work and some outfield work.
Number 42, Lewis.
So Corndogs down to 1 out. Dylan Lewis up to the plate. In a 7-run hole is Queen City. And simply put, this one might be over. But still, pitch 1 is in there for a ball. Lewis, 2 of 2 on the night. Sees that one and goes swinging. Sorensen able to reel a huge swing out of Lewis right there. Sorensen loads this one in, and that one is drilled, and it is going to be a double, perhaps? Oh, no, this one might be another close call, as Lewis able to get into second. So Dylan Lewis continuing his hot start to this end of the week
Now
stretch.
batting for the Corndogs, number 55.
Really came into his own last night. And on the Athletics has put up 2 singles and a double. The Queen's University product. Up at bat now for Queen City is Will Budnick, who is 0 of 3 on the night. Sorensen loads this one in, and it's low, and nice scoop made right there by Aiden Wilson. Aiden Stewart, excuse me. So Sorensen needs 1 out to give his Athletics their 3rd conference win of the season, and that one is drilled dead center. Will Budnick picks up his first hit of the night and advances his college teammate to third base. So now runners on the corners for Queen City with Garrett Sanner heading up to bat.
Now batting for the Corndogs, number 2.
Sanner is 1 of 3 on the night. Has a single and has grounded out twice as a visit to the mound here for the Athletics. The entire infield going to come in for this one. Devising a plan to close the door on the Corndogs. Meanwhile, Queen City trying not to go away. And we're going to go away for a quick break, but don't worry, because we'll be right back. Back in action. 1 out away for the Athletics. Garrett Sanner sees the first pitch of this at-bat go high for ball number 1. Every single pitch here carrying a bit more weight than the last, as that one carries into the strike zone to even the count at 1. Lewis and Budnick on the corners right now for the Corndogs. Sanner looking for his second hit of the night. That one shoots by his ankles for ball number 2. Sorensen, the lefty, deals this one in, and it is going to go foul. Ready to make that play was Sorensen, but won't have to. Count now 2-2, and just a strike away from victory for the Athletics. Corndogs, after an epic comeback last night, attempting to do the impossible once again, as that one is going to be strike number 3, and that's ball game here. As in the top of the 9th, Jack Sorensen gets a pair of strikeouts looking at Bill Ford Field here in Concord to help the Athletics get their 3rd win of the conference season. Meanwhile, the Queen City Corndogs move to 10-5 overall, 5-5 in the SCBL. But fear not, because Queen City has a chance to get back above the 500 mark tomorrow when they take on the Regulators at 7 p.m. back at the Friar. It's been a long road trip for Queen City, but they head back to South Charlotte, to Charlotte Ladden Field, and that game will be at 7 p.m. So show up and show loud. Final score here, 10-3 Athletics. take down your Queen City Corndogs for everyone else involved in the